Hi everyone, Mitch from PickDogs.com. We are here with your live show. We're live every day at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Next week, I think we're going to 10 a.m. though. So I know you guys are used to the 11, but we're going to go to 10. And of course, we got Major League Baseball today. Game 7 of the World Series. They say this is the least viewed World Series in quite some time, the lowest ratings. I have to say, it's been one of the most exciting World Series that I've seen in 20 years. And super exciting. And we're going to Game 7. Max Scherzer and Zach Greinke. And, you know, Zach Greinke's a number 3 on the Astros. He's a number 1 on most teams. This guy's a former Cy Young Award winner. And, of course, he has gotten it done. In the NBA, got 11 games tonight. You want to talk about action? 3-0 in the premium area last night. I don't sit here, this is not an infomercial for Pick Dogs Premium, but I was 3-0. I had the Nationals. Plus, I had the Lakers and the Mavericks. So that was my 3 picks in the premium yesterday. Got 3 NBA picks in there today. I got a pick in the World Series, and I have a few other games. And I did this on College Football Saturday, where I listed a bunch of games as my premium picks. And then after I did that, I kind of listed like 5 other games that I said, I'm betting these. I don't know if they're premium or not, but I'm betting them. And then here's 2 other games that I'm also betting, but they're not quite even in that next category. These are more of a reach, you know, like Western Kentucky wasn't like the sexy popular pick, but I liked it enough. I was kind of like going back and forth to whether it's premium or not, because I was going to put it out there as a money line pick. And they were certainly in it for the money line until the very end. They lost by 3. We were getting 4.5, so I was glad I put it in there with the points. You guys know I get a little aggressive sometimes, and you know that's my style. I'm not going to apologize for it. I say that all the time. I'm aggressive in betting. I'm aggressive in golf. I'm aggressive in surfing. It's how I am in also setting up the websites and things like that, and working with the tech guys. Of course, we're going to have Chris with you later on today, coming off of a super fine hockey performance. He gave out his best bets yesterday, and he said Bruins in regulation. If it was a fight, they would have stopped it. He should have laid puck line in regulation if that's a possible hockey bet, because it was a beatdown. The dog of the day in hockey came through for me, just using my same strategy I use for everything else. Also, the Predators, the weirdest name in all of sports. That's a weird name, right? Especially, it's kind of like, let's name it the Predators, and then it's like, kind of the environment changed, right? So it's almost like some of the Native American names, you know, for teams. I don't know. Predators. I understand that it's like, they mean like the animal, like, you know, like a tiger or lion, predator, but I don't like this. I don't like it, man. It sounds too much like I can't see your comments. Let's see what's going on here. It's got to be a setting. Let's see. View comments. Where is it? Sometimes it like flies way over on my other screen. Of course, we do free picks on this show every single day. Window, comments. There it is. All right, I got it. Thank you. Morning to everyone. Good morning. Like I said, we're going to have Chris with us doing some NHL. And I'll tell you, Chris got off to a rough start on his first show, and since then, he's been money. It's not like he wins every single game. Nobody does. Nobody wins every game, except for the liars, right? But we got a lot of game request picks here. We'll get to those in just a second. Glad you could catch us, Tom. Morning, Indy, and morning, Dave. Of course, everyone who's watching us, if you could hit the thumbs up, as always, greatly appreciated. Of course, this afternoon we'll be back with our college football weekly preview show. We'll have Steve Monahan with us as well. So that is at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. We're thinking about moving that show back to 5 or 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And we're thinking about moving this show. Well, this show is going to move till 10 a.m. Eastern time, at least for the short term, and then we'll probably move it back to 11. But anyways, let's get to some of these free picks, and we'll get out of the gate. Rockets -8 against the Wizards. I like the Wizards in this one. I like them plus the points. I think the Rockets win, but I think the Wizards cover. I like the way the Wizards have been playing this season. This is the type of team we could really sink our teeth into. This is the type of team that we love over the years that have been very, very nice to us. And these are the teams that they don't win games, they just cover. And to us, it's like winning the Super Bowl, right? Getting 8 points, lose by 7, same thing as winning by 100. We'll take it, and that's what the Wizards have done. Meanwhile, on the other side of this one, the Rockets have come up short. You know, the Rockets they have talent. They're gonna be good. They're gonna go on a run. We know that, right? That's what they do. They've done it in the past. James Harden, I mean, he just says, "Forget it. I'm gonna carry this team on my back." But right now, they aren't covering spreads, and the Wizards are covering, and that's all we care about. I'm gonna take the Wizards in this one. Go to Utah, where the Jazz are taking on the Clippers. I did videos on 7 of these NBA games, and they're all out on the site on YouTube, so you can check them out there. But in this one, we got the Clippers taking on the Jazz, and the Jazz laying 3 points. This line has inverted, and the Jazz, they're still putting things together. The Clippers, they're not going to win them all. I like the Jazz at this one. It just seems that the momentum is there for the Jazz. And the public is there on the Clippers, and it ain't helping them in this spot. So I'm going to take the Jazz and the 3 points. Let's take a look at the line movement on this game. I think that's something, because we've seen it invert where the Clippers were favored, and now the Jazz are favored. The Jazz were 2-point dogs when this one opened. The Jazz are now 3-point favorites in this thing. So they've gone from 2-point. They've gone from 2. It's been a 5-point line movement. Only 38% of the bets here on the Jazz. We have inverse line movement. We have breaking through from an underdog becoming a favorite. I mean, everything going on in this one. Both these teams 3-1 in this game. The Jazz just 1-1 at home, and just 1-3 against the spread this season. The Clips 2-2 against the number. I think you got to just trust the process in this one. The process says, I don't know what this means. I have no idea what this means. But it's one question per person, of course. I did a premium pick on that. You can check it out at Pick Dogs Premium. $35 gets you 2 days. It's $179 a week. Probably comes out to like $10 a pick. And I can tell you that anybody that bought a premium weekly, monthly, 3-month package from last Thursday when we opened it, between then and yesterday, I'm going to guess that they've already paid for that subscription a couple times over. Of course, this is not an infomercial. Morning, Rolly. Dog of the day. We don't look back, we don't look forward. Yep. Wizards are sneaky. This game's in the premium area. I like the under in this one. Once again, I did a YouTube video on this game. You just check out our YouTube channel. You look at the game that says Celtics versus Bucks. I did a YouTube video on it where I did the same pick. I like under 222 in the Celtics Bucks. I just think good teams play defense. This game's in the premium area. You got to put a point spread if you want it. No idea. You got to put a Team A versus Team B. Yep. So, Yeah, if you want your questions answered, it's Team A versus Team B with the total or the with the total or the point spread. Yep, Team A versus Team B. I mean, not really sure how easy to say. There you go. Is that difficult? I don't think so. Portland versus Oklahoma City. Trailblazers favored by 1 in this. Oklahoma City's been kind of up and down so far to start the season. The Blazers are a good team, but they're not quite where I thought they would be. I don't know. This is a coin flip game to me. OKC, Blazers. Blazers -1 is the coin flip pick. Morning. Yeah, there's a video on YouTube on this. I mean, you guys are watching me on YouTube. All you got to do is go to our channel. We did 7 NBA videos. That was one of them. I like the over in that one though. In the Warriors Suns. If you want to hear more about it, you can watch the video. It's on our YouTube channel. Yeah, like I said, I have the Celtics are favored in that game, so this is an incorrect point spread. But like I said, I have a premium pick on that game, and you can get it at Pick Dogs Premium. I did a video on this game also. You can check out my detail on it, but I took the Timberwolves plus the 7.5. I go into more detail on the video. It's on YouTube. I'm doing tons of videos on YouTube, more than I've ever done. I'm doing over 20 videos a day on YouTube with free picks. So be sure to check them out. We flip for NFL games. We do whatever. When we can't decide, we flip the penny. That's why I have them on the desk. I like over 218 in Bulls Cavs. Bad teams, generally over. Good teams, under. It's basic formula. Okay, either way, it's still in the premium area. The game is still in the premium area, and you can still get it at Pick Dogs Premium. Yeah, this pick I gave out. I'm not doing it again. All right, I'm going to bring in Chris to do some NHL with us. That was real fun. You guys are asking me the same games. I don't know, man. Anyways, if you could hit the thumbs up, I appreciate everybody that's joining us. The format is always Team A versus Team B with the point spread. A lot of these games, if you check out our YouTube channel, I've already done a video on it. And if it's dog of the day or something, it is what it is. I'm not going to tell you it's dog of the day video because then you'll know who I picked. But we're going to bring in Chris to do some NHL. Chris, how's it going?
Good, Mitch. How are you doing?
Good, thanks. Let's get into the NHL. I just wanted to ask, I like to open it with a question to Chris. When we bring him on, I kind of like to do this with all the guests that come on the show. I just open it with a question, whether it's about their sport they cover or not. So, Chris, how did you get involved with Sports Chat Place, and how long have you been, how did you get involved with Sports Chat Place, and how long have we been working together?
Tell you the truth, I've been following Sports Chat Place for I was following Sports Chat Place for about six and a half years. And then, one day out of the blue, I was just like, you know what? This seems like a great thing to do. It seems like these guys enjoy what they're doing. And then one day I just reached out, got a response, and we did a couple test articles that were horrendous. But we got there eventually. We worked through the kinks, and now we've been working together about 3.5 years, and I haven't looked back.
Hold on a second, everybody. I want to point that out to everyone that writes on the site, everyone, Randy, Chris, Andrew, Peter, Brett, whether you've been with us for 8 years, like, or whether you've been with me for 8 years or 8 minutes, I work with everybody that writes on the site, and we have a specific style that we write on the site. Everybody has their own style, but we also have a specific style that we write with on the site. And I think that Chris will tell you he's probably a better writer than he was when he started. And it's just some little things that I gave him, but he's still his own style. He's still his own picks. He's still everything else. It's just kind of some fine tuning for what other people see when they read his writing. And that's what I do.
Yeah, 100%. And if anybody ever asks, I will always give you credit for making me a better writer.
I'm not asking for credit. I'm just what happens.
Well, I know you're not, but I will give it to you.
The reason why I asked the question is because I get an email from people, probably 5 a week, and sometimes even more. It's always, the timing is always terrible. Like the people pick, not always, but most of the time, people will say, I want to write college basketball, and they'll write me, right before the tournament starts or something. It's like, obviously we have it covered. We've covered it all season long. The time to contact me if you want to write on the site is a month before, or a couple weeks at least, before a season starts, right? And I'm saying this because college basketball is starting, so I know I'm going to get a ton of people wanting to write. I get the same thing when NBA season starts. I have to prepare ahead of time. I don't prepare the night before for NBA season. We prepare, months ahead. Chris and I, and Randy and Andrew and everybody, we've been talking college basketball for
last month.
We've been talking college basketball for months. We've been talking. We talk NFL football, baseball, everything way in advance because somehow it all gets covered, right, without somebody new coming on. But it's like we're always looking for new writers. We're always looking for people that cover stuff that we don't cover already, and that's really what we're mainly looking for. And we're not looking for, like, Chris is a good picker of games, but he's not a game picker, right? He doesn't just say Rockets minus 10, and he lists 10 picks, and he says, "Oh, I got 8 right." It's like Chris writes up, 500 words on why, and that's the difference. So, cut you off, kind of answered the question for you, but anyways, that's what I do.
Saving my voice for the NHL picks.
Yeah, let's go to some NHL. Let's see what we got. Tampa Bay versus New Jersey.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of this game, especially after Tampa Bay burned me last night. It's the only best bet that I got wrong. I can take the over 6.5. Something still seems off about this Tampa Bay team, and until they figure it out, I'm not trying to back them even on the road, even with a decent line against a New Jersey team that's just bad. New Jersey's picked up points at home, but my disdain for their goaltending is well noted. I don't like New Jersey's goaltending whatsoever. I could see this just being a gritty 4-3 kind of game that just pushes over the number, or even 5-3 with an empty net goal at the end. I think the over hits here.
All right, we saw over City yesterday, right, in the NHL. It was just over, early over. And something that somebody brought up on the show, one of the questions that we had on the show yesterday was, man, there's been a lot of first period where the game's gone over. And it's like, we saw it yesterday, I think almost every game that happened, right? Or 75% of the games went over in the first period.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's backtrack a little bit and say Nets -3 versus Pacers. I did a video on this, so you can check out the video, but I took the Nets -3, but you could hear my whole explanation and my whole rant about this one. It's on YouTube. The video is called Brooklyn Nets versus Indiana Pacers, free NBA pick. So it's there. Colorado Avalanche -130 versus the Florida Panthers. Of course, I'm from Miami, and the Panthers aren't really, their stadium's not really in Miami. It's in Fort Lauderdale, and it's actually even north of that a little bit. But I always thought I went to Panthers when I lived in Miami. I had moved back to Miami, and I lived there in the time when they went, when they were really good, the year of the rat. And it was a lot of fun back then. But I haven't heard a lot about the Panthers since then. But meanwhile, the Avalanche, these guys were perennial contenders, back in the day. Peter Forsberg, Joe Sakic, Patrick Roy. But once again, we don't see them in the finals either anytime since then. So how about this one? Avalanche and Panthers.
I like Colorado minus 130. Florida keeps playing up and down hockey, and it's hard to sort of get a grasp on them. Sergei Bobrovsky's having a good outing here and there, but I still don't think he's worth the contract they paid him in the offseason. And even if they go with the backup here, I have even less faith in the backup, Sam Montembeault. Colorado, 4-1 at home, 8-2-1 on the year, getting a decent line. I think Colorado takes this one handily.
All right, I'm just looking at I'm just looking at the early money leaders for the NHL. Something I don't know. I care about this. And Colorado's second best money team in the NHL right now. They are plus 550 if you bet them every game this season. So pretty good stuff, for Colorado. When we look at Florida, they are kind of in the middle to bottom of the pack. The worst team in the NHL right now for the money, Chicago Blackhawks, San Jose, New Jersey, who you don't like their goaltending, Minnesota, Toronto, Dallas, Ottawa, Calgary, Detroit. So these are the big name teams. This is just like baseball. The big name teams that have underperformed are at the bottom. The big names, the high salaries, the all-star players, those teams are all at the bottom. And when you look at the top, it's all the teams that you wouldn't, kind of, these are not Hockey Town USA. Buffalo Sabres, Colorado Avalanche, Islanders, who used to be Hockey Town, but that was 70s, right? Washington Capitals, who won the Cup, Bruins. So there's your two, your Astros and, teams that just win a lot of games. But you're not getting value on those teams. Then, Vancouver, Edmonton, Arizona, Nashville, Carolina, Anaheim. These are not the who's who of the NHL champions in recent years. So I know Chris likes a lot of favorites, but we're going to continue on. Wild versus the Blues, minus 170. I look at this one, I see the Wild and the Blues. The Blues near the bottom of, the middle bottom of the money, and the Wild, they're fourth from the bottom in the money. So these are both minus money teams. This is going to help someone.
Yeah, I mean, I like St. Louis in regulation. I'm trying to find the odds for it. I think I had it at minus 110. Dallas was one of my better bets. I didn't mention it on the show, but it was one of my. I didn't want to say it was one of my best bets, but I did like Dallas yesterday. I'm getting St. Louis at minus 120 regulation, and Minnesota just continues to prove to be what they are on the road, which is not a good hockey team. They were up 3-0, 3-1 at the end of the second, and gave up 5 goals in the third period to lose that one 6-3. So for me, Minnesota's an automatic fade until they get their act together.
Minnesota 1-7 on the road, minus 620. So if you bet Minnesota every game this season on the road, you have lost more money than any other team in the entire NHL, and actually more than several teams combined. If you look at some of the other, even if you combine 3 or 4 teams that have lost money on the road, Minnesota's lost by far the most. So worst road team in the NHL is Minnesota. So Chris going with the Blues, but the Blues, the thing about the Blues here, I don't know nothing about hockey. I just know very little about hockey. But I look at the Blues, and this is like kind of right in their wheelhouse where they've been stumbling, is this minus 170 number as far as odds go. So take that for what it's worth. Canucks Kings over under 6.
My better plays on the side. If I had to pick, I'd take the over. Vancouver's not scoring as much as they are on the road and at home, but like I said before, Los Angeles has a lot of goaltending issues. Jonathan Quick's not the guy that we once saw winning the Stanley Cups for the Kings. Vancouver is a young team that can really, really score, but I also expect them to give up a couple on the road here. I'd side with the over.
Coyotes versus Montreal, -120.
I love Arizona here. They continue to be one of the better surprises. I think you mentioned them as one of the teams that sort of made you money this season on the whole.
Yep.
The wins keep piling up.
Home and road, they're plus money.
Yeah, the wins keep coming. The defensive goaltending's been stellar so far. They've given up 2 goals or less in 8 of their 11 games so far this season. Montreal continues to struggle with consistency. I just think we're getting a better team at a solid price, so I'll take Arizona -120.
Montreal, losing record, losing money at home, losing money on the road, but not hideous. So they haven't been like big favorites that have gone down. They've just been mild. They've lost as mild favorites a few times, and they just have a losing record on the road. So they've been dogs on the road before. 2-3 on the road, but only -40 when it comes to the money, and 3-3 at home, -66. So that's an average of -120. So Montreal, they're not over bad, but they're not winning enough to make you money either. So that's a problem. Like you say, the Coyotes kind of the opposite end of the coin, 3-1 at home, +137. So that means they've been favored at home pretty big, because that one loss knocked out $160, and then on the road 4-3 +$89, and that's about an even money favorite dog type thing on the road to be in that position. So he takes Arizona. Any other picks that you really like tonight, Chris, before we wrap it up?
No, I think my best bet was going to be St. Louis in regulation. And then my 3 better bets that I'm going to play as well are going to be Arizona, Colorado, and Vancouver.
Okay. So let me see if we have any more questions before we wrap it up. Of course, if you're watching us, be sure to hit the thumbs up and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Of course, I got Chris with us. He's from pickdogs.com. He's been writing with us he's been working with me for a long time. And certainly love having him around. I like having him on the show. Certainly adds something, because I know people have been asking about hockey forever, and that's how we invented the penny flip, hockey, because I had no idea. But so we'll just recap. So one more asked, Josias Rene just loves asking questions. I know it's one per person, but Pacers Nets over under 220. I'll go with over 220, and I have no idea. Over 220 Pacers Nets. But be sure to check out our YouTube channel. I've been doing tons of videos. But let's just recap the show. I took the Wizards +8, the Jazz -3, the under 222 in the Bucks Celtics. The coin flip came up Blazers -1, Warriors Suns over, Timberwolves +7.5, over 218 in the Bulls Cavs, Nets +3, over 220 in the Pacers Nets. Chris took the over 6.5 in the Tampa Bay New Jersey game, Colorado -130, St. Louis -170, but he really likes them in regulation. He loves Vancouver over the Kings, but no one asked that question, so he just took the over in that game. But he did say Vancouver, one of his best bets. Loves Arizona over the Habs, -120. One last question, Trey Jordan. Oilers +130 versus the Jackets. The Oilers, can anybody figure this team out? This is kind of like my Timberwolves of last year, where it's just I had no idea. I mean, I'm starting to follow NHL because we've been doing these segments. I'm following it a little more, and I at least I know what teams are doing on a day-to-day basis, which is a lot more than I knew before. But this Edmonton team, they know they lost in that game in Detroit where it was like that funky line, right? And that you said, this line looks weird. Detroit's lost, all these games. Edmonton's been winning, and Detroit's favored. That's the somebody knows something. What about this thing? Edmonton +135 at Columbus now.
I don't even know. This was one of the games
Would you like me to flip my penny for you?
If you could. I have a long shot bet in this game, but if you can flip the penny for me, that would be great.
Who's the home team? I'm going to guess Columbus is at home.
It's Columbus at home.
Columbus. Whoop, we dropped it. Columbus.
Even the penny doesn't want to do this game.
No, it doesn't. The penny doesn't even want any part of this thing. Columbus Edmonton is tails. We go like this. Edmonton Oilers on the bounce back. That's what I would have picked too, to be honest with you, because it's like last night when we had the expectations of them against the Red Wings with the funky line. Now all of a sudden the public's like, oh man, they lost to the Red Wings. Let's go. We got to get on the other side. When the public's going one way, I'm always on the other side of the argument. Anyways, thank you guys for joining us. Have a great day, everyone. Be sure to hit the thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe to our channel. Check out our YouTube channel. I've been doing tons of free pick videos. All these NBA games you guys are asking about, I've done individual videos on almost all the games on NBA. On NFL, I've got a free pick video on all of them. College football, almost all the games. Check it all out. I'm going to be putting up more betting strategy videos today as well. And I also got one out there on the World Series. So enjoy the World Series. I'll see you guys in a few hours. I got the college football show with Steve Monahan. Chris, thanks again. Aloha. We'll see you later.
Thanks for having me.